for the next update. So pretty fast, like I said. I mean, it was in the schedule that they were going to do the data mine at, they said 10 p.m. to reset at any moment. So here we go. We have the refines for all of the next batch of characters. Looks like Midori is a 2-pager. And then we got, of course, Gangrel there. Another 2-pager. And we have Anette. Oh my god. Holy effect refined Anette. Jesus. All right, Fallen Corin, who could be interesting. Then we have Bride Micaiah. Another 2-pager there. And then we have Saint Seiros herself. And then finally we got Dagger. Okay, we're just going to go in whatever order we've got stuff here. So, starting things off with Midori, I guess. So, the Midorable Midori. All right, our favorite weed dealer. So, effective against flying foes. If foe initiates combat or if foe's HP is over 75% at the start of combat, grants all stats of 4 to unit, and grants an additional attack of 7 to unit and inflicts attack -7 on the foe. Basically, Spendthrift, which was her original weapon. Deals damage equal to 15% of units' attack, and reduce damage from foes' attacks by 15% of units' attack during combat. Oh, wow. True DR and True DR. True DR and True Damage built in based on attack. Pretty good. Now, Midori, of course, had a pretty high base attack as well. She had, like, base 40 attack. We got this little girl with 40 attack and the super boon on it. Also, after combat, if unit attacked, inflicts special cooldown count +2. Oh, they kept that? Wow. Was that really necessary at this point in time? To keep the negative side effect of Spendthrift Bow? So, after combat, she just reverse special spirals herself. I mean, I guess you could still get away with it, because it's not the hardest thing in the world to activate Deadeye. It's a 3-hit special. And if you give her, like, Mart's Emblem Ring, and then you give her, like, Tempo or Special Spiral 4 or whatever, she can just loop it over and over. Probably not Special Spiral 4, actually, because that would be negated by this. So Tempo 4 and, like, Special Acceleration are what you'd be looking for. At the start of turn, if unit is in 2 spaces of an ally, neutralizes any penalties on unit and allies in 2 spaces of unit. Ooh. Okay, Drive Penalty Negation. And recovers 10 HP to unit and those allies. At what point in time are we recovering the HP here? Okay, so it's start of turn. She's neutralizing penalty. That's really good, man. Actually, that's really, really good. You can use this in Aether Raid's defense as a makeshift, like, odd and even recovery. If you don't have Safi, who does both, or King Freyr, you just run Midori. And then she's just penalty cleansing at the start of the turn. The bad thing, though, is that unlike King Freyr, who activates it at the start of the enemy turn as well, this is only going to be on your turn. So they could possibly stop this with, like, false start, I guess. But, I mean, it's better than nothing, right? It's still odd and even recovery built into one, which is pretty solid. Okay, then you're getting the 10 HP. And then at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats of 4 to unit during combat. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up. And foe cannot make a follow-up. So we got built-in Omni Breaker. Getting a lot of stats, a lot of support here. What was it? So the base weapon had all stats of 4. Then down here, we're getting all stats of 4 from the effect refine. True 7 points of attack, and then -7 attack to the foe. And then even further, we're getting like an Asker type true DR, true damage deal here based on her raw attack. Pretty good refine. Honestly, like, I like that they went outside of the box and they gave her this, like, penalty cleansing effect here with the healing as well. Pretty good. Actually, Midori made out like a bandit there. Pretty solid refine for... Okay, Lucky Bow. That's what it's going to be called. Okay, there we go for Midori. All right, next up we've got Gangrel, who is our Grand Hero battle unit. So, unfortunately, this man has the 11 Dagger, not the 11 Sword. But I guess we'll take it. It's close enough. So, flat res up 3. At the start of turn, inflicts speed and res -7 and guard on the nearest foes in 5 spaces of unit and foes in 2 spaces of those foes through the next actions. Alright, could have been a little better. Like, guard is a debuff. I'm not a fan of doing it like this. It would have been better if it was like sabotage or discord or something like that. Those debuff effects are a lot stronger. Also, if bonus is active on unit or if a penalty is active on the foe, grants all stats of 4 to unit and deals damage equal to 20% of unit's res during combat. Alright, so true damage based on res there, including when doing specials, and then he's also got Dagger 7, of course. Alright, then for the effect refine. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, calculates damage using the lower of foe's defense or res. Oh, adaptive damage on daggers is really good. Then also, at the start of combat, if his HP is over 25%, then he gets all stats of 4. Inflicts all stats minus X on the foe, where X is the highest penalty on each stat between target and foes in 2 spaces of target. Then he also calculates each stat penalty independently for that, and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 30% during combat. This is a pretty solid refine for a Grand Hero battle. I think Pon is still a little better than this guy, though. Pon has the Brave Dagger. That's pretty good. And it's not that hard to get, like, Hexblade nowadays, because there's a lot of ways, actually, to be getting Hexblade as a support or just getting it built into your own kit. So, yeah, man, I would have to, like, really compare his stats to Pon, which I don't have Pon pulled up right now to really do that, but I think the Brave attack on Pon is going to end up out-damaging Gangrel, unless you're getting, like, Brave support on this guy from, like, Catria or Cordelia or whoever. And then he's also getting, like, true damage based on res and all that. He could probably do more damage if he's getting, like, a crap load of support. But in a bubble, like, from just self-sufficiency, I think Pon is a little bit better. Okay, let's keep going here. We have Anette up next. The Crushinator. Okay, so attack up 3. Calculates damage using the lower of foe's defense or res. If a rally assist skill is used by unit, target can move 1 extra space. That turn only, doesn't stack, and no effect on ranged cavalry types. Because we don't need 4 movement cavalry types that can hit from 2 spaces away. Alright, and afterwards, once per turn, grants another action to you. Okay, yeah, she needed that badly. So now she's able to move again after she does this. Prime candidate to give your Ruse level 4s to. Also, like Sylvain on the banner, who's going to be able to take another action after rallying as well. At the start of combat, if US HP is over 25%, grants all stats of 4 to unit and reduces damage from foe's first attack by 40% during combat. First attack normally means regular attacks, and then this includes Brave hits as well. So we got Brave attack DR there. And then the effect refine now is if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 4 to unit. Inflicts a penalty on foe's speed, defense, and res equal to 6 minus the current penalty on each of those stats with a min of 0. Okay, so if they've already got penalties, this is going to be worse. But if they have no penalties, then you're just doing minus 6. Still inflicts penalty on foe even if the foe triggers an effect that neutralizes penalties. Oh, we're doing that now? So we're just giving the middle finger to penalty neutralization. So skills like Wily Fighter and units like Ascended Dune or Brave Hector or whoever that are able to nullify their own penalties, we're just like, nah, you can't do that anymore. Oh my god, that is a very nasty precedent for them to have. So like what are we gonna have, like guaranteed follow-up even if the foe has no follow-up? Or like nullify enemies follow-up even if they have no follow-up? We're about to get to that point, man. We're just gonna have like null follow-up for null follow-up. It seems like that's about to happen. Okay, then unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, and if penalty is active on foe's speed, defense, or res, deals damage equal to 15% of unit's attack during combat. And if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, after combat, inflicts speed, defense, and res minus 6 on the foe through its next action. Kind of a weird timing for that to go off, like after combat you're doing that. So it's just like speed, defense, and res minus 6. It's not even a smoke, it's actually a seal, because it's only to the target. But I guess this is also active for allies too, like allies in 2 spaces. Oh wait, no. This is only for her when she initiates combat. If she's in 2 spaces of an ally or initiates, then she does this seal type of debuff. That's really awkward. Because, like, typically you want to just beat the enemy in 1 shot, but I don't know, man. Pretty good. Like, overall, this is a good refine. we're getting a lot of stats. We're getting a lot of support here with the +1 movement, and then she can still move again after rallying, which is very nice. So, pretty good. I mean, they gave her the only thing she needed, which was rally and then move again. Okay, we got Fallen Corin here. Not the most exciting Fallen hero from his batch. You're going to be interesting when we get Fallen Ike and, like, Julia and Leon. I think those were the juicy Fallen heroes from this batch. Alright, this guy gets speed up 3. Grants attack speed, defense, and res up X based on the number of allies adjacent to unit. So if no allies, X is 11. If 1 ally, X is 9. If 2, then X is 7. If 3, X is 5. And then if less than or equal, or if greater than or equal to... Is that greater than or is that less than? I think that, yeah, that's greater than or equal to 4, then X is 4. So he just wants to be solo. And inflicts special cooldown charge -1 on foe per attack during combat. Recovers 7 HP to unit after combat, and then adaptive damage. Alright, so far this is not good enough. At the start of turn, if number of allies adjacent to unit is less than or equal to 2, grants attack and speed up 6, dodge, and neutralizes foe's bonuses during combat to unit for 1 turn. If foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP is greater than or equal to 75% at the start of combat, grants all stats of 4 to unit, and deals damage equal to 20% of unit's speed during combat. Okay, so he's getting true damage based on speed. Blue bonus to attack and speed up 6. We're getting dodge. We're getting nullify enemy bonuses, which is pretty good, actually. All stats up 11 if he's solo. A little bit of recovery there. I guard. Man, if only this guy had better res and he could have used the new dragon skill from Legendary Male Allure. Like, combining that with all this might have made him look pretty scary. But unfortunately, I don't know, man. They really didn't give this guy enough. I don't feel like. He's definitely the worst one we've looked at so far. Okay, RIP Corin fans. Okay, here's an interesting one. Duo Micaiah. So now, I mean, she was like one of the best units in the game. When she probably was the best unit in the game when she first came out. So let's see here. What do they do for her? Effective against armor and cav. Grants attack up 3. If a bonus is active on unit, or if a penalty is active on the foe, grants attack and res up 6 to unit. Grants additional bonus to unit's attack equal to the highest total penalties among target and foes in 2 spaces of target. Oh, they gave her a built-in dominance effect. But it's like better dominance, because also the enemies in 2 spaces of the target. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack, and foe cannot make a follow-up attack in combat. If they have null follow-up, they can block it. They didn't have the sense to let her nullify null follow-up like Anette did. Annette's nullifying null panics. Like, come on, man. Alright, at the start of turn, if any foes have the highest... Wait, hold on. Is she... Alright, yeah, let's read it over here so we don't get cut off. At the start of turn, if any foes have the highest attack, speed, defense, or res on the enemy team, inflicts -7 on the corresponding stat of those foes, and foes in 2 spaces of those foes through the next actions. So she just aped Yune's effect there. Pretty good. I mean, Yune's debuff, stat debuff at least, is like one of the best stat debuff effects in the game. We just need like some other effects here. Like, okay, we have Sabotage. At the start of turn, if any foes have the highest attack, speed, defense, or res on the enemy team, inflicts Sabotage on those foes. That's really good. Yeah, combined with this, and then her having built-in dominance and then double dominance with the duo skill. That's pretty scary, actually. This is very scary. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack and res up 5 to unit and reduces the percentage of foes' non-special DR by half. Oh my god, she is... They turned her into a freaking damage monster. And don't forget, she's a flying unit too, so she can run like Guidance 4, Soaring Guidance, or even Soaring Echo and then run like Deadly Miasma. You can give her, Occult Strike as well, and like Flared Mirror. Bro, this unit is going to... Well, Flared Mirror doesn't play nice with Deadly Miasma, unfortunately. But you could run either or, like whichever one you think you'd rather go for. No, this is substantial, actually. This is a really good refine for her. Like, considering that she's got that duo skill that she can just pop at any moment. Now, it's only 3 columns. It's not 3 columns and 3 rows like the Duo Elise, which is a little bit better. So she's going to have to be like at the bottom of the map and line up with the enemies on the top. Kind of weird. She can't do it like horizontally, which would have been good. But, man, they gave her a lot of DPS potential here. This is crazy. And then on top of that, the amount of debuffing she can do with Sabotage. So she's just like a better Yune that also cuts DR. Yeah, this is something. That's a good refine, man. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, so finally we have the remixes now. So we have Saint Seiros. Grants attack up 3. Grants attack, defense, and res up 6. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up. And foe can't make a follow-up and inflicts guard on the foe per attack. Also does adaptive damage. Okay, that's not substantial enough. Gonna need a little bit more here, mommy. Alright, we got -1 special trigger. At the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants attack, defense, and res up 4. And unit's first attack deals damage equal to 15% of foe's res during combat. Interesting. Excluding AoEs, and if unit's res is better than foe's res, then reduce damage from attacks during combat and AoEs by percent equal to the difference between stats times 4. So built-in Dragon Wall. And at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, recovers 7 HP to unit. This is not enough. Yeah, this is not... I was kind of hopeful when we saw what her C skill got. Like, her C skill is a pretty nice support effect now. She can actually contribute a little bit, but... this weapon's not quite good enough, man. I guess you can run the new Dragon special, though, on her. She does have the res to pull it off, unlike the Fallen Corin we looked at. So, like, you could give her that, and then that gives her non-pierceable DR, and then she can do, like, all of this, but... For a melee unit, this is not enough. Like, just DR, some bonus damage, guard, like, Omni Breaker, which is going to get bodied by null follow-up anyway. Yeah, man, I wish they gave her a little bit more than just that. Maybe, like, if the true damage was a little higher than just 15% of the foe's res. Why couldn't they use her res? Because, like, we know she has good res. There's no guarantee the enemies are going to have good res. Alright, let's move on. Let's take a look at Dagger next. Now, Dagger is, like, guaranteed to be good. Because she's already got Pathfinder. She's already, like, kind of good anyway. Okay, speed up 3 and Pathfinder. At the start of turn, grants Pathfinder to unit support partner. Okay, yeah, she's busted. Yeah, let's just turn her into Wind Tribe Dagger. Yeah, that's real nice. So, permanent double Pathfinder. This is very good. Yeah, she won. She's the most useful, the most usable out of all these we've looked at. To unit support partner for 1 turn. Alright, at the start of combat, if unit's HP is over 25%, grants all stats of 5, and a bonus to all stats during combat equal to the current penalty on each of those stats times 2. So she keeps her Unity effect, which is very good. Alright, and then also, if unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, inflicts attack speed and defense -4 on the foe. Inflicts penalty on foe's attack speed and defense in combat equal to the current bonus on each of the foe's stats times 2. So she's also stealing their bonus. Well, not stealing, but flipping their bonus into a penalty also. Then dealing damage equal to 10% of her attack. And reduce damage from foe's first attack by 40%, including on brave attacks. Like, all the rest of this was just, like, complete excess. All we needed to see was this first and second sentence. We got speed up 3 in Pathfinder, and then we're giving Pathfinder to support partner. That's it. Like, she's good. Not only is she good, she's very good. So, that's pretty much it for all of these refines. I would say, I mean, clearly Dagger is in first place. Like, just Pathfinder is disgusting. One of the most busted things in the game. I think Micaiah is surprisingly going to be very scary. Especially with, like, Oath Echo and then, like, Deadly Miasma or Guidance Force, so she can ferry armors and also flyers. Like, there's a lot you can do with this Micaiah now, and then she still has my favorite duo skill in the game, just Pop Dominance. Who else got a good one here? Let's see. Annette's going to be pretty nice with Ruse level 4s. And that's about it. Like, the rest of these were interesting. Like, Midori's interesting. Gangrel's pretty interesting, but I think Pon is still a little better. Seiros and Corin were just not made good enough, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's going to wrap us up for the refines here. We're going to come back in just a second. We're going to take a look at the banner data mines. So stick around, stay tuned, and I will catch you guys again in just a sec.